hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. In today's video I thought I'd just do a little like chill vlog-ish thing again, because I'm not really feeling the best. Had sort of like a weird little like dream last night, and it's just sort of like led to like some thoughts and stuff in my brain, but anyway, that's beside the point. But I thought I'd just have like a little bit of a walk to like the park and stuff, maybe visit a few bookshops. I'm not too sure, but I thought I'd just see, and yeah, I'm going to be listening to a bit of an audiobook whilst I'm walking. I listened to Rubyfruit Jungle by Rita Mae Brown. I'm actually kind of enjoying it at the moment. The narration's quite like, it's quite good to like, quite easy to listen to. Sort of about like a girl at the moment, and she's like growing up, she's like 11 or something, and I believe it was sort of like chronicles her life, and her like coming to terms with her like sexuality, and like her like wanting to be different from other girls, and like she doesn't want to just like get married and like do all the like normal things like girls do, and like learn to sew and all these things, and she's like growing up in the like the 50s and stuff, and she wants to like aspire to more, and like she doesn't want to be liked, she wants to like herself, and I'm just like, go girl. She's like she's a character. She's not the most likable, but I like her energy, yeah, so I'm just reading that or listening to it, and yeah, well, let's take you with me, so come on. My god, buddies. Her conniving ways are just gold. She has a mind on her, and it is so great to like listen to. I am like rooting for her like so much. Wow. Also, I'm like in the forest. Nature. so in this like vlog video, I didn't really do much else, and I didn't really know what to do with the footage. Many times I was just going to delete it, but I thought I could do something else with it. As you can see, I've got changed. It's like a couple weeks later now. I'm still not feeling the best in here, so I'm going to go on another walk. But I've actually finished Rubyfruit Jungle now, so I thought I'd quickly read out my review of it, because I did really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars, and then I'm gonna just film a little bit whilst I'm on my walk. I'm gonna put these 2 magazines into a free little library in case anyone wants to like read them. If like when I go back to it in like a couple of weeks, if they haven't been taken, then I'll just take them out and recycle them. But I just thought I'd do that instead of giving them straight to the recycle. And I'm also listening to a new audiobook now, and because both of the audiobooks I was listening to in this video are sapphic stories, I thought they would go together, and I've made it into a coherent thing, but I'll talk about that one later. But anyway, I thought I'd just quickly read out my review. So yeah, 4 stars. I did really enjoy this, and it's one I would so definitely still recommend. There are some negatives, but I'll get to them in a bit. It's definitely a decent read. In it we follow like the main character Molly, like I said, from around 10 to about 25, so it's definitely like a coming of age novel. We basically follow her when she's like growing up, so like in like poverty. She comes from like quite like a poor background in Pennsylvania, and then she moves to Florida. And this is the same as Rita Mae Brown, the author. That's like what she did in her childhood. So there is some elements of like autofiction in it as well. And because obviously it encompasses a lot of like the firsts in someone's life, and that's quite a lot of what the book is, like first like friendships and like first like attractions and like loves and like relationships, but like the primary topic is Molly coming to terms with and accepting her queerness. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's hailed as early lesbian fiction, and it was first published in 1973, and I think despite its flaws, the topics mentioned and messages shared are for sure what make the book a star read for me. And it was so new for the time, and it filled a space that needed to be filled, and it allowed for many queer women to have like representation, and like was able to be seen in literature that was otherwise not readily or ever available to them. And I just thought that was really good, and the discussion around like labels I felt was very like modern, like sparked like conversations. Yeah, so Molly is clearly attracted to women, and despite having liaisons with men, she does call herself a lesbian within the book, but she also she sometimes asks about what is the point of labels. So I I'm gonna call her queer, because she's not like the biggest like advocate for it. And yeah, and I said, side note, I think that author Brown isn't too keen on labels either, and this is totally valid, but like they do still have a place, and that they are important for some people. So yeah, so Molly is definitely a very developed character throughout the book, and this is something I loved. She is flawed and she does make some mistakes, but I do still think she is good at heart, and I love that she knows what she wants, and she's determined, and she has this get up and go attitude. And this isn't just because she's like queer, it's just because like she wants to get her name out there. She wants to be different, she wants to rise above her circumstances and to like live a life that that is not the one like predestined for other people like her, and this is just something I truly admire in her, really. Also, she's just really, really funny, and it's just really great, and something and she's like cunning, and it was just something I really like enjoyed. I could just like imagine like homophobes like in the 70s just reading this and like reading this like outward like homosexuality and just like trying hard like not to laugh at the same time, and it was like funny as well. So yeah, so quite a lot of the other characters are also quite developed as well, specifically Molly's mother, Carrie. Like I said, I do have some problems, just bullet pointed, which I just thought I'd just quickly say. There is like some fat phobia I picked up on. There seems to be quite a few references to certain characters, most notably Leroy, who is her cousin at the start of the book, being fat, and this is viewed in a negative light. It's also not addressed as the book and Molly develops. Anti-butchness, I don't know if that's a word, but I did find Molly to view the butch lesbians in a more negative way, and once saying something like, what's the point when you could just be with a man? It did develop to be a bit more nuanced, and I know that author portrays herself as not the most feminine, so it's likely just a character and reflective of the time, but it was still an issue that wasn't addressed. Ageism, Molly seemed to not really appreciate or like the older queers all that much. I get most younger people don't, and we leave her at around 25, so obviously her opinion will change, but it was still a point. And rape and incest. The parts with Polina and later her daughter Alice were quite uncomfortable to read, where Molly manages to get Polina to have sex with her. It's quite forceful despite her later enjoying the act and it being done to release something she's been repressing. That being said, it's still not right. Later Alice thinks her mum wants to have sex with her, and this whole discussion around incest was just totally unnecessary, weird, and not handled the best, I feel. With these issues being aired, I do still think this was a very good book for the time, and when I think about it in that context, I am confident in my rating and recommendation. It's obvious that times, expectations and standards have changed, and there is now an abundance of more correct queer female/lesbian literature, but it still deserves its place, and I did enjoy it. So yeah, I do think like I said, it does have its problems, but it is a solid 4-star read, and it is one I would still recommend. And I think for the time and what it allowed for other queer female fiction to follow, it is quite commendable. And it was a decent story. But yeah, that is my review of Rubyfruit Jungle. The book I've been reading or listening to now is Sorry Bro. I'll put a picture here. I don't want to butcher her name because I haven't learned how to pronounce it properly yet, but I will after. It's like it's about a bi-Armenian American woman living in San Francisco. I haven't got that much left. I think I've got like an hour and a half, so I should finish it whilst I'm out, and then I should read my review when I finish, or when I come back. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, come along with me for the second part of the vlog portion of this video. I'm loving this book. The title doesn't do it justice. Not a very good title in my opinion, but the book is good. So yeah, enjoying it. I am back. I didn't really feel much, but whatever. This is basically a review video now, because that is basically what it is. But I finished Sorry Bro by Celine Voskuni, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give it like 4 or 4.5 stars, maybe 4.25. And yeah, so basically it follows the main character Na, and she works for like a television, like a news like reporter sort of thing. She gets to like proposed to by her like boyfriend, and she doesn't really know what to say, so she's like, maybe whilst he's gonna go off to Europe for like a couple months or something, for about a month or so, so they sort of like we'll think about it, so during this time she tells her mum that she's gonna like, she wants to maybe like find another like person to be with, someone that is Armenian, and her mother is like really happy because she wants her to like be with someone who's Armenian, so she pushes her to go to this Explore Armenia like convention and find like a husband. But whilst she's there, none of the men really like spark her interest, but who does spark her interest is this really cool witchy woman, Erebuni, because Na is bisexual. And what ensues is sort of like second guessing, like, can this relationship be a thing? Can she be like a proud Armenian bisexual woman living in like San Francisco within like this bigger like Armenian diaspora community, with like the pressures of like the outside family and like the community, and how just like the pressure that is put on her, and just trying to make things work. And Erebuni is such a great character because she is so much in like touch with her Armenian culture, and she allows Na to like have this connection as well, and she starts making like pushing her to do like reports and getting involved with the culture and like the history, and learning about like the Armenian genocide, and like the food and like the history and just like the language. And what I loved as well is that at the beginning of each chapter there's like a proverb that is in English and Armenian as well, that I just really liked that. It was like there was like every one of them was really nice and impactful, and just I really like looked forward to it at the end, like the beginning of each chapter, and it was just really fun, just learning about Armenian culture and like different like recipes and like the just the Armenian culture basically. Yeah, so it's sort of like billed, like advertised as like a romance. I would classify it more as a contemporary because it does deal with some more like harder themes, and I feel that the romance elements are put on the back, are pushed a bit more further back in their importance. So I feel like going into it, you should read it as a contemporary, because that's basically what it is, but there is still romance elements of it which were nice, and the fluffy scenes are nice, and I do think it is well balanced with the more like heavier topics that it deals with. And yeah, I did really enjoy this, and would recommend it. yeah. Whilst I was out, I finished that book, and I started reading a new one, but I'm not going to tell you what that one is, because hopefully when I finish it, and maybe a few more or another one, it'll be in another video that is all on another theme. But I will tell you one thing, it is another sapphic book, so yeah. I'm really enjoying sapphic books recently. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of a bit of a impromptu, mixed up, messy in a way, I don't know. But there were two quite good books I would definitely recommend. And I had quite a nice time. Brain is still a bit meh, but what can you do? Hope you have a nice morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and I shall see you very soon, everybody. Bye.